So happy October 1st. Very excited to get this readathon underway. As you can see on my little table here, I have the stack of my TBR in no particular order, just sort of there. Right now they're flattening a bookmark that I made for Sarah, so they're serving a few purposes. So with it being October 1st, last night I decided the first book that I was going to pick up for the readathon is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So for prompts, this one meets a couple. This one meets a reread for me. I read it last year for the first time. This also counts, what I'm counting it towards is read a book that BookTube hates. So that's what I'm going with for that. And I have my mug of a hot beverage. It's coffee. Let's be real, it's coffee. I will be spending my day probably reading, and this one will be probably pretty quick. Obviously I haven't started it yet, because like I said, I've read it already. I love this series. I patiently waited for Kingdom of Ash to come out last year, so I'm very, very excited to revisit it now that I can read it all. So my general idea is I'll read Throne of Glass first and potentially Crown of Midnight last, and then continue reading with the series. So in November read Heir of Fire and move on from there until I have reread the whole series and its wonderfulness in anticipation for Sarah J. Maas's new book, Crescent City. That comes out in March, now that it's been pushed back again. That's all I've got right now. I'm gonna go read, and I will see you guys in a bit. So, I've only read like 20 pages, but I forgot how much I loved Selena's sass. Her sass is everything. I love it a lot. I really missed these characters, and I am super, super pumped to get back into this world. Maybe see some things that I missed now that I've read the entire series. Maybe some foreshadowing that I missed, because I was just so anticipating I got this book first just to see if I would like it, and then I got Crown of Midnight. And then I think Heir of Fire was the last one that I bought by itself, because after I finished Heir of Fire, I bought the rest of them, which was up to Tower of Dawn. I bought those three, Queen of Shadows, Empire Storms, and Tower of Dawn, all at the same time, and then patiently waited for Kingdom of Ash. But I think just like going back to the beginning, because it is such a long series, like this is book 1 out of like 8, I think, if you count Assassin's Blade. So I'm real excited to just jump back into it. I love, love, love Sarah J. Maas's writing style. I just feel thrust. There's a huge storm going on. It's like 10 in the morning right now, and it's just super dark. I have like most of the lights on in my house because it looks like nighttime. It is ridiculous. So if you hear loud noises, it's the storm. But this is ideal reading weather for me, especially now that it's October. Rain, hot coffee, and a wonderful book. I'm just so excited to reread this book. While I'm vlogging, I can haul a thing. So I go to the gym every morning, and I'm one of those people where if I see like a giveaway or something like that, even on YouTube or anything, I'll sign up, because who doesn't like free stuff? And today I went in this morning, and about halfway through my workout, one of the people came up and was like, "You won a thing." And I'm like, I never win the thing. So I won a cute little basket with a infuser water bottle, which I love these things because you can put like lemons, or like you can put like little fruit in this thing, or even tea. So I got this really cool infuser water bottle that says "Make Today Count." And then there's this little package of, oh, there's a magnet on the back. Neat. Just throw that right up on my little thing. So it says things to do, and I like the little check marks. It says yesterday, like seriously do this now, soon, tomorrow, this week, month, maybe. Yeah, right, maybe in a year or 2 or 10. And then you write down what it is, check, like, I think this is like a priority list, and then you check on the other side, and it says, heck yeah, all done. So I can just whip that right up on my magnet. And then this is an information card. Oh, there's one more thing. There's a candle. But I love fall most of all. Hand poured in Milwaukee. Ooh, it's got that like cinnamon-y fall, like amber maybe, like cinnamon and amber. That's definitely got that fall smell, and that's a nice sized candle. And then it came in this cute little like wooden planter that I can use for decoration somewhere in my house, and a bunch of squiggles, but I don't really want to put all the squiggles. While I'm vlogging, I can give you a tour of my office. So this, I'm gonna spin you guys around. This is my desk. I have my laptop, and that's actually my iPad with a Bluetooth keyboard. I have my books read list, and I've got nice cork board with a couple of my pins, shell list, and a couple of my wands, and another magnet board with some magnets. I occasionally write notes on it. Also on my walls, I have a Christopher Titus poster that is signed, my Slytherin banner, and another enamel pin board, and then my TBR cart is down here as well. And then those are the shelves that you typically see in all of the videos. So nice pretty rainbows with Hogwarts right on top. And then down here I just have like a nice little coffee table. It usually holds just books that I'm reading. This is how we film, is with this table. So not super excited. Oh, and then that's my like little crafting thing, container, where I have my crafty supplies. So not the most exciting room in the world. I have a nice little Harry Potter print up there too that Sarah gave me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go read and drink some more coffee. Love this book some more. And then potentially finish it today. And if I finish it today, I'll let you know. And hey guys, so it is the next day. And I have finished this wonderful story. Gave it 5 stars like I did the first time because I caught a lot of the foreshadowing, and I thought it was brilliantly tied in, where when I first read it, it was like, oh, this is just like a little cool tidbit. And now I'm looking at it like, oh. And I love that aspect. I also love all of the Kale, Dorian, Selena sass. And I love Nehemia. And I forgot how much I loved the beginning of this story. Like, I got so caught up in the finales and figuring out what was going to happen to our main characters and everything, that like it's kind of nice to go back to where they started and where I actually fell in love with the story. So very, very happy I chose to reread this wonderful book. So I have completed 3 challenges with this one book. It is a book that BookTube doesn't, it's a hit or a miss, about 50-50. People either love it or they hate it. I obviously love it. This is also a reread for me. And I drank it with coffee, but that will happen with every book. Coffee or tea, because I don't have a problem. So now that I'm done with this one, also, can we appreciate, I read it with my Throne of Glass bookmark. And it's one of my favorite bookmarks, is, as you can see, it has seen some love. So it felt correct to use this to read it. So it's just gonna go right back in there. So I have my books separated in 2 piles. I have my fantasy pile and my contemporary pile. You can tell which ones, what genre I prefer. So I don't really know what one I want to read. I think I want to save Crown of Midnight for last, or one of the last ones for the month, just because I don't want to I don't want to oversaturate myself with Throne of Glass, because knowing me, I'm going to want to read the entire series all over again, and I shouldn't do that until November. So I think I'll save Crown of Midnight for later in the month, so we'll put that one back here. I'm not going to go with the Hazelwood until later. I like to read our book of the months till closer to the end of the month, since that's when we typically do our talks and everything. So I have a few options left. I'm not sure what I want to read. Not sure what's grabbing at me. So between these 5, and I have 4 of, so I think I want to read one more fantasy before I start diving into my contemporary pile, just because like Haunting of Hill House is pretty short. This I could probably finish in a sitting. It's only like 200 pages, 235. It's a short book. And the font is pretty big. So I think I'm going to go with one of these. So I have between these 4. And I think the one that is calling to me is, because I am the epitome of a mood reader, is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This is the Owl Crate edition. So you guys probably saw my Owl Crate unboxing of this beautiful book. This one, it's not terribly long. I also believe it's a standalone, maybe. I don't really know, but it sounds super interesting. This will get me more into like a Halloween mood, because this one gets me the read a book with a spooky cover. So that's what prompt this one will get me. So I'm gonna go dive into this and watch some Great British Baking Show and have a good day. So I'm trash at this whole vlogging thing and haven't vlogged in almost a week. But so I have some updates. So I finished The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones and I gave it 4 stars. It was a lot more enjoyable than I actually anticipated it to be, because it's a zombie book. And I don't really care for zombies. Never really have. Not a big Walking Dead kind of person. But for zombies, this was fairly fun. A little violent, but fun. Definitely some twists and turns I wasn't ready for. Especially the undead goat buddy. The undead goat was the real MVP of this story. So, after finishing The Bone Houses, I picked up and am currently reading Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I am really enjoying it. I am about 300-ish pages in. This is great. It's about a witch and a witch hunter who have to get married, and the witch hunter doesn't know she's a witch, and it's great. It's almost like the fake dating trope, but it's fake marriage. It's weird, it's fun, it's everything I could have ever wanted from that kind of story. And there's a bunch of twists and turns that I wasn't ready for. So, really enjoying this. Hoping to finish this today. I might pick up Haunting of Hill House. So, while I was vlogging, I got some mail. And I got this beautiful edition of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. They just restocked it. I unfortunately didn't get my hands on this edition when I first got the book. I have the normal with the white background. But after I got the edition of The Wicked King with the beautiful black background, naturally I went searching for its friend, and I have, or have not, maybe already pre-ordered the beautiful black background edition of Queen of Nothing so that my volumes all match. I am very pumped, and these editions are just, like, look at this. Look at how beautiful these, like, the naked cover's gorgeous. I super love the black background opposed to the white background. I just think that that fits so much better with the story, because the story is so dark and mysterious and dangerous, and there's danger everywhere, and I associate that with more of this cover than the one with the white. The white one gives me, like, hope and pretty and butterflies. No, it is dark. It is a dark story. So I'm super pumped that I now have a matching set And we'll be even more excited when I have all 3. I will take all of the Instagram pictures. I'm just so excited that I finally was able to get this edition of The Cruel Prince without having to pay an arm and a leg for it, because that's what it was online. But in anticipation for Queen of Nothing, Barnes & Noble decided to restock at a normal human price that I could get. And I'm so happy. I really want to finish Serpent and Dove because I'm loving it. It's great. And I just want more. And very excited. This is a series. Second book I think is called Blood and Honey, or Honey and Blood. One of those ways. So very pumped. This is definitely living up to the hype that it's been getting for almost a year. I was a little nervous that this was gonna flop. It's not flopping. I'm 300. I'm like more than halfway and it hasn't flopped yet. I'm intrigued. Very, very intrigued by this book. So I will update you guys if anything new or interesting happens or when I finish this book. Not sure which yet, so we shall see. So I have returned and I have finished this phenomenal book, Serpent and Dove, and I'm in love with it, guys. It's amazing and it's everything I could have ever wanted. From a witch story, magic, forbidden love, actual love, fake dating-ish marriage. I don't really know how to describe that. But it was so intense and so beautifully written. This story is amazing and I really want Blood and Honey now because that's the sequel. And these characters, this is a pretty decent sized cast of characters and I am living for it. 110%. I'm loving it. So, since I have finished Serpent and Dove, I think my next book that I am going to pick up is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. This is the Penguin Horror House edition that came in the September Owl Crate. So it's not a terribly long book. This one is also the inspiration for the Netflix TV show, which I highly recommend. I'm interested to see the differences. I actually didn't find out that the show is based off of a book until I think I was just about done with it. So, oops. I do know that season 2 is going to be based on The Haunting of Blythe House, I believe. But I'm really excited that this book came in my Owl Crate so I can read it and compare because I thought the show was amazing. Let's see how the book is. So, with that though, I got book mail. Love book mail. So I figured while I'm attempting to be a vloggy person, so I've got they're both book of the month. This one is book of the month YA, and this is the normal book of the month. This one's a little bit bigger because I got 2 books from there because I had some credits to spend. So we're gonna open these bad boys up, and I can show you what books I got for October because I've been skipping the past couple of months for book of the month just because nothing has really drawn to me. So, but obviously this month that changed. For the YA, I got Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. This is a dragon story, obviously. I am always down for a dragon story. We follow Annie and her friend Lee. So we deal with dragons. Dragons are bad. And Annie's family was killed by dragons, and Lee's family was killed by revolutionaries. And they become unlikely friends, it seems, and trying to deal with the dragon issue. I'm down with it. It's a very beautiful red cover. Very excited to start this one. Always into a dragon book. Now, open up this one. Like I said, I got 2 books in this one. One was an older book that I had been meaning to get, but I wanted to wait until I got it with an actual book of the month book, opposed to just getting that one on its own. So, oh gosh, they're wrapped together. They're heavy. Ah! Eek. Okay, so for October, I picked Fate of the Fallen by Callie. This is the fantasy choice for October. This is supposed to play, like, poke fun at the chosen one trope. It's supposed to follow the, like, best friend of a chosen one as his friend goes on, like, all these antics. It's just sort of like his friend being like, this sucks. My friend's the chosen one, and I have to tag along. This blows. So I've read that it's supposed to be really funny while also being very magical and mystical, so I'm very interested. It's also not very long, which is interesting. I'm intrigued. This book intrigued me, hence why I chose it. And the other book that I chose is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. A couple months ago, I read, or maybe like 2 months ago, I read Riley Sager's newer book, Lock Every Door, and I really loved it. I've also read Final Girls by Riley Sager and really enjoyed it, so I wanted to grab the other book of the month, Riley Sager book, and see if this one also lives up to the wonderfulness that I have been enjoying with Riley Sager's writing. So that's kind of all I've got for you. A little bit of book mail, which I'm always into. Thank you, Box. And I finished a book, and I'm starting a new one. So it's been a good day. So I am back, and I got through like 65 pages of this book, and I can't. It is now nighttime, as you can see. And I have made a decision about this very short book. I can't. So I got about 65 pages in, and I am super confused. I feel like everyone was having a conversation with themselves, but like other people were responding, but nothing made sense. The story doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is only like a 200 and some page book, and I got like just about halfway there, and nothing happened. We meet Eleanor, and she's a little weird and just starts like blabbering about her life to this complete stranger. They get to the house, and like the only creepy thing about the house is the caretakers who like say this weird scripted thing over and over every time someone comes to the house. And it just, I think this is a writing style thing for me, because I don't understand half of what was happening. So, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to DNF this. This was a mystery, thriller, horror, but I actually was using this as my 13th read, but I wanted to pick it up because I was pretty excited about it. So I can easily switch this out. I might switch it out with my new Riley Sager book. I do have a couple other mysteries that I've been wanting to get to, like the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which you can keep a secret. So I have a couple of other options to go through. I'm going to let Sarah borrow this one. I know she wanted to give it a whirl. Maybe she'll enjoy it and maybe understand it and can tell me what was happening, because I got nothing. So now I'm going to pick a different book. I don't know what book. A nice little stack over there. But I don't know if I want to start a new book right now, because it's like 9 o'clock. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And I kind of want to go to bed. But I also want to start a new book because I finished Serpent and Dove today. And I just have so many emotions right now with Serpent and Dove. I don't know if I should go with another contemporary, though. That's the issue. Although I don't know if this counts as contemporary. I don't know what I want to read. I really only want to read Crown of Midnight, but if I read Crown of Midnight, then I have to read the rest of the series, because I have renewed my obsession with Throne of Glass. So if I read Crown of Midnight, I'm just going to go and read the entire series again, and I don't really want to do that right now. So I think I'm going to go with an actual contemporary, Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. This is about a couple of girls who are framed for one of their friends' murders, and this is like the next summer. And I think another girl has gone missing. So this is what actually was going to be my mystery thriller. So I hope this one actually captivates me opposed to this nonsense. Because the show was awesome. And maybe that's why I'm having such troubles, because it's nowhere near the show. Which, I mean, the show was inspired by. So, which is fine. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna just say the show is better than the 65 pages I've read. So I'm in my, like, little reading nook in my living room, and I just finished this. Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. And that was the most annoyingly stupid ending to a mystery I think I've ever read. It might be up there with One of Us is Lying by Caroline Kepnes. But it just, it had me. It was so interesting until like the last like 50 pages when we like pieced together who the bad guy actually is. And when you figure it out, I'm just like, I'm unhappy with this ending. The first, like, literally up until, like, here is great. I was intrigued. I was with the girls in the mystery. I was with them on this journey. No. No, it wasn't. I'm a little irritated with this book. So I'm kind of teetering between like a 2.5 and a 3. The 3 because the writing was really good. I'm just super unhappy with the ending. I'm just unhappy in general with how this book ended. It was stupid. Thinking I'm going to pick up Enchantee by Gita Trelease next, which is my retelling book. Yeah, it's a retelling of Les Mis. So I already read one Les Mis retelling earlier this year, Sky Without Stars. And that one was really good. It was like Les Mis in space, which was really cool. So I'm interested to see where where Enchantee goes with that. So I'm gonna go start that book and throw this one against a wall. It's been a couple of days because I have been crazy busy with doing stuff, but this morning I have finished Enchantee by Gita Trelease. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. It was kind of boring near like the beginning and middle, but it really picked up about halfway through. I gave this one a 3-star, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about it during my wrap-up, but I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around how I feel about it, because it wasn't anything that I expected. This is not a Les Mis retelling. I was super wrong on that aspect. Which, I mean, was kind of disappointing when I got into it, but I still love French history and all of that. So this is kind of leading up to Bastille Day, when Bastille Day happened in France. So it's kind of leading up to that and like a little bit after that. So it was still interesting in that aspect of history, but I don't know. I just felt like it's lacking something, and I need maybe a couple of days to like think and figure out my thoughts as to what this book is missing. Because the characters were great, the plot was a little thin, and the magic was really thin. I wasn't at all impressed with how the magic worked in this, and it was kind of confusing because it wasn't explained very well. So from that, I'm going to read Find Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is the novella bind-up of Shadow Me and Reveal Me, which is, I believe Shadow Me is in between books 4 and 5, and then Reveal Me is between books 5, and 6, which 6 hasn't come out yet. So this bind up just came out. I know Shadow Me came out in, I think, March, like right before Defy Me came out, and Reveal Me came out with the bind up. So I'm very excited. I love this series, and I love the eye covers. I love them a lot. So I'm going to read this one. This one shouldn't take me all that long. It's 2 novellas, and they're in my favorite character's point of view. If you haven't read the Shatter Me series is about a girl, Juliet, whose touch is basically lethal. So think Rogue from X-Men. She touches people and they die. So she's been in like almost a prison for a couple years, and someone comes and breaks her out of prison to basically use her as a weapon. So Juliet is basically trying to figure out who she is. She's basically been in this dark dungeon for 2 or 3 years. It's been a while since I've read the first book, because we're on book 6 soon. So it's kind of her figuring out and coming into her own, deciding she doesn't want to be a weapon, and it is a very, very cool superhero mixed with dystopian themes. So I really enjoyed the series. I love Tahereh Mafi's writing style. There is a lot of anxiety rep in these books, like way before like anxiety was even getting reps. The way she writes Juliet's anxiety, you feel it in your soul. It is so well done, and I love Tahereh Mafi's writing style, and I love Juliet's story. I was really excited when I saw that she was extending it to the newer trilogy that came after Ignite Me, which is Restore Me, Defy Me, and I believe the last one is called Imagine Me. So that one comes out in March, so I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to quickly read this book and go from there. Hey guys, so I am back. Today is Wednesday, and this video is supposed to go up on Thursday, so this will probably be my last update for this vlog, and I've done a fair amount since the last time I vlogged, which I believe was Monday. So Monday. I'm going with Monday. So I finished 2 books in that time. I finished Find Me by Tahereh Mafi, which was really easy. It's only 150 pages. It's a tiny little novella from the Shatter Me series. I love that it was in Kenji's point of view. We don't get Kenji's point of view in the bigger books. So I'm hoping maybe in the last book we will be able to see more of stuff from Kenji's point of view. I will say the first novella, Shadow Me, didn't feel like any new information. It was just one aspect that had just happened from Kenji's point of view, which is fine. I still love Kenji, but I was kind of hoping for new information. But Reveal Me gave us a lot of information because it's right after, from the sounds of it, it happened right after Defy Me. So there was a lot more information there, and of course Tahereh Mafi is brilliant at cliffhangers, and you know, who knows, there's a cliffhanger in this novella, so I need Imagine Me as soon as possible, and I'm not getting it until like March or April of next year, and I'm a little salty. But I finished this one, and I figured it was time again to pick up one of my other contemporaries, so I chose You by Caroline Kepnes. This fills the prompt of reading a book about something that scares you. This follows Joe, who is stalking a girl named Beck. It was really realistic and creepy, but the writing was amazing, and that's what made it so realistic and creepy. So it's almost in second person, first person. So you're kind of in Joe's perspective, but he always says you, which is where the second person comes in. And I think that perspective really made it feel like almost as if Joe was stalking the reader. And it was very creepy. I was very, very creeped out. But at the same time, you know Joe is this bad guy. He's this stalker. He's creepy. You almost feel for him. And it's this weird combination in your brain that's very hard to comprehend. I will say I think the show captured this very well, because I watched the show a couple months ago, And same thing, I was thoroughly creeped out, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of rooting for Joe, but I'm kind of not. And it's this weird combination that you don't anticipate from this kind of book. So thoroughly creeped me out. Very, very well written. I will hopefully be picking up the sequel, which is Hidden Bodies, soon, because I know that there is going to be a season 2 of the series. After this nightmare of a book, I wanted something light and fun, and on my TBR, I then picked up Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the illustrated edition. So this is what I am currently reading. We are filming our Harry Potter 2 book to movie adaptation review next week, so I wanted to get this done, and I love flipping through with all of the beautiful illustrations. They're just, of course I flipped to a page that's just all words, but they're just, the pages are phenomenal, and I'm still gonna find pages that have no pictures on them to show you, because apparently that's, let's try this. There we go. So like we have like the Death Day party, and it's just, these illustrations are gorgeous, and I love reading the book this way because it's almost as if the writing is already very immersive, but with the pictures, it's even more so. So I am very, very excited to get to this. And then I only have 4 more books on my TBR. I'm doing very well so far. This is all I have left. I have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, which is the group book for the month, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up after Harry Potter. I then have Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, which is the sequel with red, yellow, and orange on the cover. Then I have The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. This fills my book about a witch prompt. And then I have the right to a memoir by Chessy Prout with Jen Abelson. This is the read a book out of my comfort zone. And then I don't really know. So Find Me was my replacement for Haunting of Hill House, which was my 13th book prompt, along with a couple of others. So I think the only one that I've actually missed as of right now is Read a Retelling. But a couple of the ones that I've read already could count as a retelling. Actually, I think only one, and that's Throne of Glass, because Throne of Glass is actually a Cinderella retelling with the twist of what if Cinderella didn't go to the ball to find the prince to fall in love with him, but to go to the ball to kill the prince. That is where Sarah J. Maas said she got her inspiration for the entire story. So that one could technically fit, but I want to find a different book. I haven't quite decided yet. I don't know. I might just end up counting Throne of Glass as my retelling, and go off of that and just have that count for both prompts. But we shall see. So I'm going to go read, and I'm going to end this vlog here. So feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Any of the books you've chosen to read for this TBR, any recommendations, all of that fun stuff is always welcome. All of the links for Instagram and Goodreads are in the description below, as well as all of the books that I have talked about in this video. I know it's a whole mishmash. I'm vlogging for the first time. So I will see you guys in our next video. Bye!